Welcome to The Perspective. Here, we look where others turn away, deep, dark, direct. Today, the stock market is collapsing, prices are plummeting, the world holds its breath. Why is this happening? What if the countries reach an agreement with the USA, or if tariffs are slashed globally? And what does Bitcoin have to do with it? I'm a Bitcoiner, I see the world differently. And I'll show you what lurks in the shadows. But I'll also show you, there's hope. This will be intense, this will be eerie. Stay tuned, it'll grip you. Picture this, it's April 2025. The stock exchanges are bleeding. The DAX is falling hard, the Nasdaq is crashing, the Dow is sinking. In the USA, the stock markets have been in the red since the start of the year, ever since Trump took the helm in January. Tech stocks, which carried the market in 2024, are breaking down. Tesla, Nvidia, Palantir, they're all leading the sell-off. What's going on? Why is everything falling apart? Let's look at the reasons. First, Trump's tariff policy. Since February, he's been threatening Canada, Mexico, and China with punitive tariffs, high levies that choke trade. The countries are hitting back. China announces countermeasures. The EU plans retaliatory tariffs. Ursula von der Leyen calls it a severe blow to the global economy. The uncertainty hits the markets like a hammer. Investors are fleeing, fearing a trade war. Walmart, a barometer for the US economy, sounded the alarm last week. Sales in 2025 are disappointing. The economy is wobbling, and the stock market's with it. Second, interest rate concerns in the USA. Some experts expect a rate pause, others hope for a cut if the economy continues to falter. But the Fed hesitates, and the uncertainty lingers. Third, the AI hype is fading. A cheap Chinese AI model has put pressure on tech companies on Wall Street. The DAX has recovered somewhat, but the scars of the crash are visible. The markets are walking a tightrope, and the wind is getting stronger. What happens if the countries reach an agreement with the USA? Imagine this, Trump sits down with Canada, Mexico, and China. Tariffs are eased, countermeasures are halted. The markets could breathe again. A rally might be possible. Tech stocks could recover. Investors might return. But here's the catch: Trump is unpredictable. His trade policy is chaotic, and even an agreement could bring new threats. Uncertainty remains a shadow hanging over the markets. And if no agreement comes, then a global trade war looms, and prices could fall even further. But what if the world takes a radical step and slashes tariffs globally? Imagine this: trade barriers fall, imports become cheaper, global trade flourishes. Consumers cheer, an electric car from China suddenly becomes more affordable. German exporters like VW or BMW could expand their markets without fearing US tariffs. Historically, tariff reductions have made trade explode. After 1947, the world opened up and prosperity grew. Supply chains would become more efficient. Emerging markets like India could catch up. But there's a catch, and game theory shows why it's not that simple. Global trade is a strategic game, a chessboard of powers. Each country has two moves: lower tariffs and cooperate, or keep tariffs high and defect. If everyone cooperates, everyone wins, trade flows, prosperity rises, the markets breathe easier. Consumers buy cheaper, companies grow, countries specialize. Germany builds machines, China delivers electronics. But if a country like the USA under Trump keeps tariffs high while others lower theirs, it could gain the upper hand in the short term. It protects its industries, collects revenue, while sourcing cheap imports from open markets. But the others strike back: retaliatory tariffs, trade wars, chaos. This is the prisoner's dilemma. No one dares to make the first move because mistrust reigns. Trump defects, the EU threatens, China counters, and trade suffers. Let's dive deeper into game theory. Why is trust so hard? Countries like the USA fear that lowering tariffs would weaken their industries. Steel mills might not withstand competition from Asia. China hesitates because it believes Trump will break the rules as soon as it cooperates. The EU wants to cooperate, but not if it stands alone. Everyone waits for the other, and so nothing changes, a stalemate that strangles the markets. A tariff reduction could save globalization, but without trust, it remains a dream. And the downside? More trade means more transport, more the environment pays the price while the markets rejoice. Let's look at the fundamental news. Politically, there's movement. Trump has announced a strategic Bitcoin reserve for the USA. This could legitimize Bitcoin in the long term. Rumors suggest Trump might meet with El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele to discuss Bitcoin as a national currency. Institutionally, things are looking good. MicroStrategy has bought Bitcoin on a large scale. Mara Holdings is planning a stock offering to buy even more. A sovereign wealth fund from Abu Dhabi has invested in BTC EFTs. The German stock exchange plans to offer Bitcoin custody for institutional clients starting April 2025. Demand is growing, the infrastructure is strengthening. How does Bitcoin fit into the tariff reduction? If tariffs fall, trade flourishes, but reliance on traditional financial systems grows. Bitcoin could be the bridge. Companies could use it to settle payments without currency risks, especially if countries like China restrict trade with the USA. But in the long term, a tariff reduction might dampen demand for Bitcoin, less uncertainty, less need for a hedge. In the short term, as the markets adjust, Bitcoin remains a light in the dark. What do the forecasts say? The bulls are optimistic. Anthony Scaramucci says Bitcoin could hit $200,000 by the end of 2025. Michael Saylor predicts $444,000, Robert Kiyosaki $500,000. Cathie Wood sees $1.5 million by 2030. Bitcoin has the power to outlast the markets, a rock in the storm. What does this mean for us? The stock market is a house of cards, trembling. Trump's tariffs, interest rate fears, fading AI hype, the reasons for the crash are clear. An agreement with the countries could spark a rally, a tariff reduction could save trade, but mistrust reigns. Game theory shows, without trust, it'll be a war. Bitcoin is the light in the dark. It grows, it offers freedom. Politically and institutionally, it's getting stronger. The forecasts show Bitcoin is the future. But here's the truth, the markets have been down before, and they've always risen again. Look back, 1929, Black Friday, the Great Depression. The stock markets crashed, yet they recovered. 2008, the financial crisis, banks collapsed, but the market came back, stronger than ever. Even Bitcoin has shown this. In 2018, the price hit rock bottom. But in 2021, it soared to new heights. History teaches us after every storm comes the sun. This crisis is a test for the markets, for Bitcoin, for us. Stay the course, don't give up. Those who stand firm now will be rewarded tomorrow. The markets will recover, Bitcoin will rise, the future belongs to the brave. Picture this, you're sitting in the dark, the screen flickers. The DAX falls, the Nasdaq breaks, Trump threatens. Tariffs rise, countries fight, but the blockchain hums, Bitcoin calls. The air is cold, the chains rattle, but on the horizon, a light breaks through. This is the perspective. What do you think? Will the market keep falling? Can a tariff reduction save us? Is Bitcoin the answer? Write it in the comments. Your voice keeps the mystery alive. If this perspective grips you, subscribe to The Perspective. Give this video a like, share it with the brave. Let's hunt the shadows and find the hope. Until next time, stay awake. The truth lives in the code,